Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam's Sports Report. The Raiders and Jaguars and Jacksonville kind of have their head coach. We'll start with the Jets. And also Bears got I gave them an A on their head coaching hire. The Jets hire defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, who will know how to handle the New York area as that's where he's from. I think he'll have better success than Romeo Cornell, as he would be the worst example to be a head coach. Tony Dungy is probably the best defensive coordinator. I think he'll finish somewhere in the middle. I think he'll have a 10-6 team and a team that possibly makes the playoffs and maybe win a playoff game, although I don't see him go much further than that. On the whole grade, I give them, compared to other people they could have hired, I give them a B plus or B. I think I'm settling on a B. Now, they just likely need to decide who their quarterback will be. Unless you get the best, you get to move up in the draft. I don't think you're going to get that, so maybe a tank year and then leave them 2 years. I know that's hard to do in the New York Jets job area. Aaron Rodgers probably won't be back for the Jets, as he may retire or go to some other team. So who's the Jets quarterback? I guess that'll be answered. Is it a veteran? Do they tank? What do they do? Next year, there's a lot better quarterbacks in the draft. In New York, you seem to survive for 2 or 3 years. They gave Robert Slay 3.5 years, which Jets, they're going to need to go that patience again unless the coach goes 4-13 both seasons or 5 or something like that. If you win 8 games in your second year, I believe you deserve another chance, especially if you gave a coach that never won you more than 7 games. The Raiders today announced that they would hire a new coach, Pete Carroll. I'm trading up if I'm the Raiders to see if they can get a better quarterback. Pete Carroll is 73 years old. I'm not so sure about that. He is 7 years older than Andy Reid. He's the oldest coach to ever be hired in the NFL. Grade, I give the Raiders a C- towards D+, because if you're going to get a young quarterback, can even be around for the quarterback to last at the job. The oldest coach was Romeo Cornell, hired before that. He had some bad quarterbacks, didn't he? Tyler Paco, Brody Coyle. Brody Coyle is the worst, as he never won a game for the Chiefs in their history and has never won a game as a starter. Liam Coen is expected to be hired at Jacksonville. That story is very interesting. They fired the GM after I think Liam Coen asked for him to be fired. Let's listen into more on that.
The NFL's most wild coaching search has officially come to an end with a dramatic conclusion that I honestly did not even see coming. All right, let me start with the news. Liam Coen is set to be the Jacksonville Jaguars' next head coach. He has agreed to terms. The deal is done. It has not been signed or announced, but it is expected to happen. The backstory, though, is completely wild. I'll start at the beginning. Liam Coen was one of the coaches who interviewed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Zoom. He was set to go in for a second interview early this week on Tuesday, backed out of the interview and agreed to terms with the Bucs on a brand new contract extension to keep him in Tampa and make him one of the highest paid coordinators in the NFL. Okay. And part of the reason he stayed in Tampa was because of the presence of general manager Trent Baalke. At least that is what owner Shad Khan believed. Fired Baalke that morning. Okay. So everybody's moving on. Baalke out. Need a new general manager, need a coach. A couple days later, the Bucs are trying to get in touch with Liam to sign his deal and work on staffing. Didn't answer the phone. Wouldn't answer texts. Wouldn't answer anything. Just couldn't get in touch with him. Totally ghosted. Meanwhile, the organization started to get nervous, like, what the heck is going on, Shad Khan, who had had some conversations with Liam and, expressed interest in him coming to be their head coach, sends a plane. Liam Coen gets on the plane, goes to Jacksonville, lands in the facility yesterday afternoon. Bucs still can't find him. Me and Tom Pelissero break that it has been a plot twist. He is now in the Jaguars facility, and everybody goes bonkers. A couple hours later, negotiated deal. He gets offered. He is expected to be the Jaguars coach. Bucs need a new OC. But yes, that is the most bonkers coaching situation ever. A clandestine trip to Jacksonville lands the Jaguars their new head coach.
The Cowboys and Saints are looking for their guy. The Cowboys, I know, are considering Brian Schottenheimer for head coach, offensive coordinator of the Cowboys in 2023, since that went so well. Marty Schottenheimer's son. At least when I saw that offense ran, I didn't think they had a good enough chance to win a Super Bowl, but it seems like Jerry Jones more than winning playoff games and championships. Ryan Day, the guy who I would hire as Cowboys coach, at least I've heard in candidates from so far. I mean, Ryan Day is not a candidate. I haven't heard anything, but I would hire him over Deion Sanders. I also have talked to Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo is on this list. Todd Monken. My list for Jerry Jones to hire, if I were him, now at least I'm not him, I'm not a cocky, arrogant person. Joe Brady, Ryan Day, Kellen Moore, Todd Monken, Steve Spagnuolo, Matt Nagy would be my guys for the head coach position. I would not rather hire a defensive coordinator. That's why I only gave a few. But if I'm hiring one, then that's who I'm hiring. By the way, Ryan Day has the one of the highest winning percentages in college football ever. Down to like 3 coaches they coached in like the 70s. Saints interim Resi. Saints have looking for head coaches. Dan Raziano in person. Also, defensive coordinator Anthony Reaver, no. Bills coach virtual Joe Brady. New York Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, virtual fine hire here, but he never led success with the Giants. Offensive coordinator, and really never led in Kingsbury, not a good hire. Haven't we seen enough from him for hiring purposes in Texas Tech and Arizona? Steve Spagnuolo, I mean, okay. Matt Nagy, good candidate. I wouldn't be a bad candidate for Steve Spagnuolo. I just like the offensive guy over the defensive guy. I've said that already. Now on to the Chiefs, and if we can get to college basketball, we'll start with the Chiefs with the NFL playoffs injuries. Let's start with the Chiefs and Bills. Tyler Rapp report out. Chiefs may be missing Rashid Rice, as they'll need a bigger day from the receivers. Last week, DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, and Juju Smith-Schuster had no catches. Eagles, Commanders. We'll start with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts needs to be 90%. Otherwise, they're going to be relying on Saquon Barkley. Is that too much? I don't know. He'll need to make some throws, obviously, on third down. Kenny Pickett, we've seen too much. Who would be almost impossible for the Commanders to beat him and Jaden Daniels. Saquon Barkley has to have a good day. he was having a 2,000-yard season and one of the best seasons of all time. And if he would have played in the 17 game, he might have beat Gale Sayers' record. Also, A.J. Brown, he needs to make some big catches as Jalen Hurts might not be the healthiest. Jaden Daniels' rookie season, best rookie season I've ever seen in any sport of all time. Quick facts, the Bills have never won a Super Bowl, and Josh Allen is 0-3 versus Mahomes. I mean, the playoffs, but in regular season he's 4-1. I feel like I have to mention that, even though I don't want to. That's it on news. Out for the Bills is Tyler Rapp. No news on the Eagles Commanders as far as the injury report. And this is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report.